Hello, brothers, and welcome to Sigma Old Man Channel. He walks into a room and doesn't speak, yet somehow everyone adjusts their energy. You won't see him flexing, you won't hear him trying to prove anything, but suddenly people start second-guessing their status, adjusting their tone, and wondering, who the hell is that guy? That's your first clue. You didn't notice him, until you did. And once you do, you can't unsee the glitch he causes in the social matrix. Here's a fact. According to behavioral psychologists, nonverbal dominance triggers more discomfort than direct confrontation. And Sigma males, they speak fluent discomfort, with silence, with posture, with indifference. So how do you spot a man like that in public? You don't, unless you know what to look for. Because Sigma males are invisible until it suits them to be seen. This isn't about alpha bark or beta submission. This is about the man who didn't audition for power. He just stopped asking for permission. And warning, if you're someone who thinks eye contact is a form of flirting and that talking louder means you're winning, this video might bruise your ego. And that's exactly why you need to watch it. Let's break it down. Here's how to recognize a Sigma male in public. Even if he's doing absolutely nothing, especially if he's doing absolutely nothing. Number one, he's the only one who doesn't need to warm up. He's the only one who doesn't need to warm up. Everyone else walks into a room needing a few minutes to adjust. They scan for familiar faces, check their phones, try to look busy or relevant, slowly building up the courage to fully exist in the space. Not him. The Sigma male walks in like he never left. His energy doesn't need tuning. It's already locked in. There's no warming up, no social stretching, no figuring out where he fits. He's not adapting to the environment. He is the environment shift. That's what catches people off guard. He's composed, focused, and mentally a few moves ahead. While others are still calibrating their fake smiles, he's already taking in everything. Positioning, tone, hidden dynamics, power plays. He's running a silent assessment of the entire scene before most people even know where the restroom is. Not because he's overanalyzing, but because this is how he exists, ready. This kind of readiness isn't loud. It doesn't wear flashy cologne or announce itself with exaggerated body language. It's the calm confidence of someone who doesn't need to act different depending on who's watching. He's not waiting to feel accepted or safe. He's already decided that he is the standard. That throws people off. Most people need a cue to feel comfortable. They need a drink, a laugh, or a familiar face. He doesn't. His comfort comes from within, and it's permanent. He doesn't rise and fall with the energy of the room. He maintains. And that stability makes unstable people nervous. What people call quiet confidence is actually a result of relentless self-construction. He didn't get this way by chance. He built it through trial, isolation, mental discipline, and by burning bridges that led nowhere. So now he doesn't enter spaces looking to prove anything. He enters with full awareness of what he brings and zero tolerance for performance. While others try to catch up to the vibe, he is the disruption to it. Not on purpose, just by being fully present from the moment he walks in. No warm-up, no buffering, just pure signal. And if you're not ready for it, it'll rattle you. Number two, he doesn't flinch at social tension. He studies it. He doesn't flinch at social tension. He studies it. Where most people scramble to smooth things over, change the subject, or laugh nervously to avoid confrontation, the Sigma male leans in, quietly, intentionally. When someone drops a passive-aggressive comment, he doesn't play along. He doesn't throw out a fake laugh to keep the peace. He simply lets the moment breathe. He lets the awkwardness expand. And that alone reveals more about the room than any words ever could. While others are trying to fill the silence, he watches who squirms, who avoids eye contact, who over-explains, who doubles down out of insecurity. He's not analyzing for drama, he's scanning for truth, because tension to him is not something to escape. It's something that tells you who's real, who's weak, who's hiding behind charm or loud opinions. It's pressure that exposes cracks. He's not being cold, he's being clinical. That social tension most people run from, it's his microscope. It shows him where people's masks begin to slip, where their carefully curated personas start to collapse. He's not baiting anyone. He just knows that in a world full of people-pleasers and conflict avoiders, silence is power, and discomfort is a spotlight. That's why others find his presence unnerving. It's not what he says, it's what he refuses to rescue you from. If you throw a petty jab his way, expecting a laugh or a reaction, you'll get neither. You'll get silence, stillness, maybe even a stare, but he won't bail you out of your own awkwardness. He wants to see what you do without the social safety net. In a world where people are constantly diffusing tension to avoid feeling exposed, the Sigma male does the opposite. He lets the fuse burn, not out of malice, but out of a deeper curiosity. Who are you really? When the script breaks, that's what he wants to know. And the only way to find out is to keep watching. Number 3, he chooses where to stand like a predator chooses. He chooses where to stand like a predator chooses vantage points. While most people walk into a room and drift to wherever feels familiar or popular, the Sigma male is calculating from the moment he steps in. He's not just standing somewhere, he's positioning. Every space, no matter how casual, becomes a subtle game of control, awareness, and advantage. You won't find him planted in the center of attention, trying to be seen. That's where the noise lives, where egos battle, where performances peak. But he's never completely in the shadows either. He stays within range, close enough to observe, far enough to stay untouchable. Whether it's a cafe, an airport terminal, a club, or a boardroom, he stakes out the spot that gives him the highest informational return with the least energy spent. His location is always strategic, clear line of sight to entrances and exits. A wall behind him, never his back to a crowd, limited distractions. He's not paranoid, he's just trained to read environments like blueprints. Others see furniture and people. He sees flow, movement patterns, potential threats, and power dynamics. This isn't about drama or action, it's about readiness. He's not there to react, he's there to remain ahead. He chooses the spot that keeps him centered internally, even if he's off-center physically. That's why his presence always feels slightly detached, but unmistakably alert. He's not zoning out, he's zoomed in. People subconsciously feel this. They sense that he didn't just happen to be standing there. They feel watched, but not in a creepy way. It's the unnerving sense of being scanned, weighed, logged, and they don't know whether to move closer or keep their distance. Because while others are hunting attention, he's hunting understanding. And the vantage point he picks, it's not random, it's where predators sit when they don't need to chase anything because they already know where the whole game's going. Number 4, he laughs differently when he actually means it. He laughs differently when he actually means it. No filler laughter, no awkward chuckles just to smooth over tension, no empty LOL just to seem polite. The Sigma male doesn't use laughter as a social lubricant because he doesn't feel the need to keep people comfortable. When he laughs, it's because something genuinely hit him, not just as funny, but as true. And that's what throws people off. His laugh is sharp. It cuts through pretense. It doesn't ask for permission. It shows up unexpectedly, like a quiet flash of lightning in a room full of artificial light. You won't hear him laughing at fake jokes or groupthink humor. He doesn't do sympathy laughs or laugh just because everyone else is doing it. If it's not real, he stays silent. And that silence? It's louder than the crowd. When he does laugh, it's often at things others miss or wish they hadn't noticed. Irony, contradictions, ego slips, social hypocrisy. He catches those moments that people usually brush under the rug and finds them funny, uncomfortably so. His humor is surgical. And sometimes when he laughs, people laugh too, until they realize he wasn't laughing at the joke, he was laughing at the truth underneath it. That's where the confusion begins. Was that laughter approval, mockery, or insight? With the Sigma male, it could be all three. His laugh doesn't always invite you in. Sometimes it makes you rethink what just happened. It makes you question the room. It makes you wonder if you just exposed something you didn't mean to. And he's not trying to be mysterious or cold. He's just immune to performative emotion. He doesn't fake responses to keep social energy flowing. If the moment is real, he'll show up fully. If it's fake, he withdraws with precision. People often say his laugh is rare, but that's only because honest moments are rare, and he's not in the business of pretending they're not. Number 5, he moves like someone who's already planned his escape. He moves like someone who's already planned his escape. There's a quiet urgency to his steps, not because he's in a rush, but because nothing about him is aimless. Even his walk has an exit strategy baked into it. He doesn't stroll like he's soaking up attention or trying to make an entrance. He moves like he could disappear at any moment, and would if the room no longer served a purpose. Watch closely and you'll notice. No wasted motion, no dramatic turns, no unnecessary pauses, no pacing. His body language says, "I'm not lingering." His path is always clean, calculated, intentional, like someone who's already seen every layout before he walked in. And people feel that. Even if they don't know what it is exactly, they sense that he's not anchored here. He's not operating from a need to belong, he's operating from a need to stay ready. While most people walk with a subconscious hunger to be noticed, to fit in, to broadcast something, he walks with detachment. He's not signaling. He's not auditioning. He's not trying to be part of the rhythm of the room. He walks through it like he's separate from it. Like this isn't his final stop. Like every place is temporary unless proven otherwise. That's what makes him so hard to place. One moment he's there, and the next he's gone, and you didn't even see him leave. He doesn't announce exits. He doesn't leave trails. He just vanishes like fog burning off in the morning. Not because he's hiding, but because he never gave the space permission to hold him. It's not paranoia. It's precision. It's the mindset of someone who's lived too long in unpredictable territory to ever stop scanning for the nearest mental and physical exit. His movement is proof that he's not stuck in fantasy or approval seeking. He's operational, functional, prepared. People might call it cold, distant, detached. But the truth is, he's just not trying to settle where he can't breathe. So he walks like someone who's already imagined the moment he leaves and made peace with it before he ever arrived. Number 6, he's not trying to impress women. He's not trying, period. He's not trying to impress women. He's not trying, period. There's no performance, no posturing, no desperate attempts to appear more masculine, mysterious, or desirable. The Sigma male isn't in the room to prove he's a real man. He already knows who he is, and that quiet certainty is what makes people pay attention without him asking for it. You won't catch him adjusting his voice to sound more confident or puffing his chest when someone attractive walks by. He doesn't scan the room for validation or subconsciously tailor his behavior to get noticed. His energy doesn't orbit around approval. It generates its own gravity. He's not chasing admiration. He's just existing unapologetically. And that's what makes people curious, especially women. Ironically, it's the very fact that he isn't trying to be noticed that gets him noticed. While most men build entire personalities around attraction, modifying how they speak, stand, or laugh, he does none of that. He's grounded in himself. And that kind of presence is rare. Most people are tuned into the frequency of attention-seeking. He's on a completely different channel. There's something unnerving about a man who doesn't flinch under the weight of silence, who doesn't get nervous when a beautiful woman walks in, and who doesn't light up just because someone is giving him attention. Not because he's arrogant, but because he isn't hungry for it. He values depth, not reaction. He'd rather be misunderstood than misrepresent himself. This is where most people misread him. They think he's emotionally closed off, uninterested, or even rude, but the truth is he simply doesn't perform. He doesn't flirt by playing roles. He doesn't sell a version of himself. What you see is real, and that level of honesty, without begging to be liked, can be magnetic to those who are tired of superficial charm. He doesn't embody masculinity because he's trying to. He embodies it because he's not confused about it. It's not a costume, it's his default. He doesn't want to be chased, admired, or clapped for. He wants to move through life on his own terms, and if that attracts you, fine. If it doesn't, he's not losing sleep over it. Number 7, he hears the subtext, not the words. He hears the subtext, not the words. While everyone else is caught up in what's being said, he's tuned into what's not being said, the emotional static running underneath the sentence. Someone walks in, talking too loud, bragging about money, oversharing personal wins or trauma. Most people just nod along, pretend to care, or get mildly entertained. The Sigma male doesn't. He hears the leak. He doesn't get distracted by the surface. The volume, the drama, the confidence, all of it is just packaging. What he listens for is the signal behind the noise, the insecurity, the emptiness, the need for validation disguised as boldness. While others are swept up by charisma or clout, he's dissecting the motive behind the monologue. It's not judgment, it's awareness. He's not impressed by flash because he knows performance when he sees it. He sees the crack in someone's voice when they boast too much. He notices the eye twitch behind the I don't care act. He catches the pause before someone name drops like their identity depends on it. Where others are emotionally distracted, he's collecting intel, quietly, accurately, and without permission. That's why people feel a little exposed around him. They can sense it. He's not reacting like everyone else. He's not buying what they're selling. He's not laughing at the punchline because he's too busy studying the tension in their delivery. It's like talking to someone who can hear your heartbeat through your words. You might not even realize you're revealing anything, but he's already picked it up. Most people don't operate at that level. They take everything at face value. They need someone to say they're insecure before they believe it. The Sigma male doesn't need confirmation. He reads between the lines by default. It's not a skill he turns on and off. It's how his mind works. He doesn't get distracted by the message because he's already decoded the messenger, and that's what makes him different. He doesn't hear words, he hears patterns, and patterns never lie. Number 8. He doesn't adjust to the vibe, he quietly disrupts it. He doesn't adjust to the vibe, he quietly disrupts it. Most people, when they walk into a room, do a mental scan and subconsciously ask, what energy do I need to match here to be accepted? They shift their tone, body language, even their opinions just to blend in. The Sigma male, he walks in, scans the room, and stays exactly as he is. No calibration, no shape-shifting, just stillness that doesn't ask for permission to exist. And here's what's unsettling. His presence alone changes the temperature of the room. Not because he's trying to dominate, but because he's not trying at all. That kind of radical self-possession throws people off. They can't read him, and humans hate what they can't categorize. While everyone else is performing, signaling, posturing, he's sitting in complete inner silence, not disconnected, just unmoved. That stillness creates friction. You'll see it in the subtle things. People lowering their voices when he walks by, shifting in their seats, laughing a little louder to reassert control. They start wondering why he's not engaging like everyone else. Why isn't he reacting? Does he think he's better? Does he see through me? The answer is, probably. He doesn't walk into the room and try to vibe with the frequency. He walks in like someone who's already seen behind the curtain, like someone who knows most vibes are manufactured for acceptance. That kind of presence causes unease in people who rely on surface-level approval. It makes the overconfident tone down their act. It makes the insecure question if they ever had the upper hand. He doesn't have to speak to challenge the atmosphere. His stillness is the challenge. His refusal to play along is louder than any conversation. And what unnerves people the most? He's not doing it to prove a point. He's not trying to rebel. He simply isn't built to submit to group energy. He carries his own. So while others are trying to fit in, he becomes the reminder that there are people out there who don't need to. And in a room full of followers, that's not just disruptive, it's dangerous. Number 9. His eye contact isn't a social cue, it's an X-ray. His eye contact isn't a social cue, it's an X-ray. When the Sigma male looks at you, he's not doing it to make you feel comfortable. He's not looking to flirt, to charm, or to signal polite engagement. He's looking through you, not because he's cold, but because he's searching for what's real. And that kind of gaze isn't something most people are ready for. It's not performative. He doesn't flash fake warmth or overdo intensity. There's no overcompensating smile attached to it. His stare is calm, steady, and unblinking, like someone who doesn't flinch from truth, even if it's ugly. And when it lands on you, it feels like a psychological audit is happening in real time, because it is. He's not scanning your appearance. He's scanning your alignment, your inconsistencies, your micro-reactions, your emotional leaks. While most people use eye contact to signal belonging or friendliness, he uses it like a diagnostic tool. In a few seconds, he's already made notes. What you're insecure about, where you're overcompensating, what you're pretending to be. That's why people either feel deeply intrigued or instantly exposed when he looks at them. His gaze has no agenda. And paradoxically, that makes it feel dangerous. There's no script behind it, no social mask to hide behind. He's looking with intent, not obligation. And that level of raw presence can feel like a threat in a world built on posturing. He doesn't avert his gaze out of politeness. He won't look away just to make you feel less naked. If you're uncomfortable, that's your problem, not his. He wants to see how you handle being seen without filters. Because how someone responds to being fully observed reveals more than 1,000 words ever could. It's not intimidation, it's filtration. His eye contact separates the real from the rehearsed. Most people use their eyes to connect. He uses his to detect. And if you squirm under it, he won't say a word. He'll just file the reaction away like a mental snapshot of who you really are when you think you're being mysterious. Number 10. He's the only one in the room not subconsciously performing. He's the only one in the room not subconsciously performing. Everyone else, whether they realize it or not, is playing a role, smiling just a bit too wide, nodding too often, laughing at things that aren't funny, raising their voice to seem confident, lowering it to seem deep. It's a constant low-level performance meant to secure approval, fit in, or avoid being judged. The Sigma male, he opts out entirely. There's no forced enthusiasm in his tone, no exaggerated reactions to seem more likable or more engaged. His facial expressions stay neutral, sometimes unreadable, and that unsettles people. Not because he's cold, but because he refuses to fake warmth. His energy doesn't bend to expectations. He's not reacting to the social rhythm. He's operating from his own internal pace, one that doesn't speed up or slow down based on how others behave. That's what makes him hard to categorize. People are used to others giving off clear signals: eagerness, insecurity, flirtation, submission, dominance. But he doesn't broadcast those cues. His presence is stripped of decoration. There's no fluff, no social theatrics, no effort to be on. And that alone exposes just how much everyone else is performing. It's not arrogance, it's discipline. He doesn't feed on attention, so he doesn't need to perform to get it. He doesn't fill silences with nervous laughter. He doesn't over-explain to prove intelligence. He doesn't wear trendy attitudes to be socially acceptable. He moves, speaks, and exists from a private place that doesn't require audience approval. And that shakes people up, because deep down, most people are terrified of being unliked, misunderstood, or unseen. They've built entire identities around being validated. So when someone walks into the room with zero dependence on external recognition, it's like a mirror, one that reflects how much of their personality is actually a performance. He's not trying to make you comfortable. He's just not selling anything. And in a world addicted to validation, the man who performs for no one feels both alien and dangerous. Number 11, he doesn't break eye contact when authority enters the room. He doesn't break eye contact when authority enters the room. The boss walks in. The so-called alpha makes their entrance, and you can almost feel the energy shift. People straighten up, lower their voices, start performing respect without realizing it. Even the loud ones shrink a little, laughing too hard, nodding too fast. It's automatic. It's subtle, but it's submission, except for him. The Sigma male doesn't flinch. He doesn't lower his gaze or adjust his tone. His body doesn't betray even a flicker of deference, not out of arrogance, but because he doesn't worship hierarchy. He doesn't mistake status for substance. So when authority walks in, he doesn't see someone to impress. He sees just another human being, and unless that person commands respect by character, not title, he gives them nothing extra. That's what unsettles people. We're trained to respond to perceived power, to acknowledge those who matter more. Even unconsciously, people shift posture when someone important enters, but he doesn't shift. He holds. His eye contact doesn't waver. His energy doesn't bend. It's not defiant, it's unshakable. Like he already decided no one else's presence will shrink his own. And the funny part? Authority notices. They feel the absence of reaction. They feel the weight of being looked at like an equal, not a superior. It throws them off because most people either fawn or fold in the presence of power. He does neither. He just exists, unmoved, not impressed, not intimidated, not competing, just calmly, fully there. This isn't posturing. He's not performing dominance like alphas often do. He's simply immune to power games. The Sigma male doesn't rank himself in the room. He operates on a different axis, internal authority. And that kind of presence can't be bullied, bribed, or seduced. He knows the truth. Real power doesn't need to bow or bark. It just remains still while everyone else adjusts. Number 12, his clothing isn't trendy, it's tactical. His clothing isn't trendy, it's tactical. He doesn't dress to impress, blend in, or spark conversation. There's no peacocking, no loud designer logos, no desperate attempt to look high value. What he wears isn't meant to announce anything. It's meant to say nothing, and yet somehow it speaks volumes, because every piece he puts on is chosen with one unspoken question in mind. Does this serve me or distract from me? The Sigma male doesn't chase fashion cycles because he doesn't chase anything. He builds a wardrobe the same way he builds his mindset, minimal, intentional, and utterly functional. Nothing about his outfit screams for attention, and that's exactly why it catches yours. He's not trying to signal wealth, dominance, or trend awareness. He's signaling self-possession, quiet, precise, unfazed self-possession. His clothes are streamlined, clean lines, neutral tones, comfortable without being sloppy, sharp without being flashy. His style doesn't follow trends because he doesn't follow anything. Even what he doesn't wear is a choice. No excessive jewelry, no gimmicky accessories, no pieces that say, "Please notice me." His lack of visual noise is the very thing that makes people stare a little longer, trying to figure out why he feels so composed without trying. And he never looks like he's overthinking it. That's part of the power. His wardrobe doesn't look curated. It looks lived in, broken-in boots, well-fitted shirts, timeless jackets, all utility, no decoration. He dresses like someone who could walk into a bar, a back alley, or a boardroom and still be the one in control. Not because of what he's wearing, but because his clothes are never the point. He is. People try to decode him through fashion, but there's nothing loud enough to latch onto. No external symbols, no flashy cues, just a man who knows that real power doesn't scream, it whispers. And his appearance whispers this: I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to move through this world on my own terms. He doesn't dominate the room with noise, charm, or bravado. He dominates with presence. Every move, every pause, every stare is intentional. He doesn't blend in, and he doesn't try to stand out either. He simply exists on his own terms, and that quiet refusal to perform is what sets everything and everyone off balance. You now know the signs, not the cliché ones, but the real ones, the ones that don't scream Sigma. They whisper it through calm posture, unsettling silence, calculated movement, and a complete absence of social desperation. While most people are busy trying to be seen, heard, admired, or accepted, he's just watching, unmoved, unbothered, unreachable. And that's the whole point. The Sigma male isn't loud because he doesn't have to be. His power isn't in what he says, it's in what he withholds. His silence challenges noise, his stillness interrupts chaos. His lack of performance exposes the performances around him and the people who get it. They feel it before they understand it. So the next time someone walks into a room without trying, without chasing, without adjusting, and somehow the room adjusts to him, you'll know exactly what you're looking at. You're not just looking at a different kind of man, you're looking at a man who refused to be like everyone else. If this video made you pause, made you rethink everything you thought you knew about presence, power, and identity, then it's doing exactly what it was meant to do. Sigma energy isn't for everyone, but if it resonates with you, then you're not just watching, you're awakening. Don't let this be another video you scroll past. Tap that subscribe button and join a growing tribe of minds who don't fit the mold and never wanted to. Like the video if it challenged your thinking. Drop a comment below. What part hit you hardest? What truth did it expose? Share this with someone who's ready to stop performing and start owning their space. Quietly, fully, unapologetically. This isn't content. This is a mindset. And you've just stepped into it.